Can you imagine how much I have to say after 6 months of not doing any videos? I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna try to make it quick. I'm John Bilford, chef, Lulu's Louisiana Cookhouse, now open. It's awesome, and everybody came back, and we've had so much fun. And thank you for all you that keep telling me that you're watching Scratch Cook with John. I had no idea there were that many people. Okay, so real quick, I went on vacation after the last video. That was great. Saw people, family people, and then came back and dropped a 35-pound scale on my head, and I had a double hematoma, subdural hematoma, yeah, that's what they call it, and was in the hospital for like a month at Sparrow. Thank you, Sparrow. Thank you, Dr. Christopher Abood, for saving me. And then in the middle of that, I opened up a restaurant. So I've been really busy. So I have a great recipe for you today. So I'm back. Falafel. I love falafel. We had falafel the other day. Wasn't that great? So I decided, I really love falafel. I love your falafel. So I'm making my falafel today. It's a great recipe. I'll tell you all the little details about other stuff, either in the video or tomorrow's video or some other time. But thank you for watching, and I'm so glad to be back. Here's everything you're going to need to make this delicious falafel. 1 pound of dried chickpeas, garbanzo beans. Now I soaked these overnight and I've been cooking them on the stove for about an hour and 15 minutes right now. I'll show you that in a minute. I've got 1 cup of finely minced green onion, 2 tablespoons of finely minced garlic, 2 cups of finely minced parsley, 2/3 of a cup of fresh breadcrumbs, 2 eggs, a seasoning mix of 3 tablespoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of cayenne. I've got 1/4 cup of lemon juice and a half a cup of bulgur that I've soaked in 2/3 cup of warm water. So last night I soaked the beans overnight in water, and today I've just cooked them on the stove for a little over an hour to soften them up. Now I've added the garbanzo beans to the bowl of my stand mixer, and I'm going to add all of the other ingredients. And we're going to want to start this on real slow so it doesn't go flying. Give that a good mix. Now you could just skip this step and mix it real well in a bowl. And then in small batches, I'm going to give it a little pulse in a food processor. And when you're all done, you should have a paste that looks just about like this. Don't freak if there's a couple bigger chunks of bean in there, that's just fine. So I gotta tell you about this recipe. Like everything else, I got obsessed with falafel maybe 15, 20 years ago, and we had a lot of falafel, maybe, 20 different versions, but I think this is really the best I've ever had anywhere. It's really light and fluffy, and my wife agrees, so that's also important. So I hope you enjoy. And here's all you're gonna need to make this delicious tahini sauce to go with your falafel. 3/4 cup of tahini. Now when you buy it, you always have to stir it up from the bottom of the jar. It always settles while it's sitting on the store shelf. So stir it good, and then you need 3/4 cup of tahini. 1/3 cup of lemon juice, a tablespoon of minced garlic. Now I've made a seasoning blend of 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne, 1/8 teaspoon of curry powder, 1/8 teaspoon of ground coriander, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. And you're going to need a half a cup of water. So now I've put all this in my fancy ass food processor. I'm going to give it a spin. Now that was everything except the water. So now we're going to go ahead and add the water. I'm going to slowly add the water. Well, first it'll thicken up, and then it'll thin out to the consistency of it. And there we go. So now I'm going to drop the falafel into 350-degree oil and just cook them till they're nicely browned and cooked all the way through. Now for this appetizer size version I've got here, I'm just going to drizzle with a little tahini. Top with a little cilantro. Now I like my falafel about this size, because like tonight we're gonna make sandwiches out of these, and I like to have 4 of the falafel on a sandwich rather than 3 big ones. Well, there you go. Another exciting, well, semi-exciting, was okay, version of Scratch Cook with John. I hope to start making a lot more of them because I had so much fun doing it. Again, thank you everybody for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do it, and I'll see you again soon.